The Indiana Pacers have hired Toronto Raptors assistant coach Nate Bjorkgren as their new head coach. Bjorkgren spent the last 2 seasons on Nick Nurse's staff in Toronto, winning an NBA title in 2019. He replaces Nate McMillan, who left after leading the Pacers to 4 playoff appearances in his 4 seasons there. For more, we welcome in CBS Sports NBA analyst and former NBA coach Avery Johnson. Avery, the Pacers rolling with Nate Bjorkgren as their new head coach. What's your reaction to this news? What do you know about this guy?
Well, I know it's been a very extensive process. Kevin Pritchard, their president of basketball operation, shared about how they interviewed a ton of candidates, and Nate really stood out. And I think Nate stood out because of the endorsement of Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry shared over and over again how he's Mr. Positive. He's never had a bad day. He's not about focusing on the negative. He's very innovative from the offensive standpoint. They have a very, young basketball team that haven't found their footing, especially in the playoffs. He's from a championship organization now that he's coached under Nick Nurse with the Toronto Raptors. So I think this is all about breathing another element of life into their program, trying to figure out what's going to happen with Victor Oladipo. And I think they hired the right guy because they hired Mr. Positive.
Hey, you're Mr. Positive too, Avery. I think you guys are cut from the same cloth. But the Pacers were swept in the first round by the Heat last season. So what does he and this team have to do in the offseason to get back into contention?
Well, I think the main thing is Victor Oladipo, he's got to get healthy. There was a question mark of whether he was going to participate in the bubble, and then he participated, and, he just never seemed like he was back to his old self, because the bubble would have been his off season getting ready for this upcoming season. So I think they have to address that. Malcolm Brogdon was a pretty solid contributor with his new contract, and then they got to get Sabonis healthy. He wasn't a guy, he left the bubble, wasn't healthy. He's a guy that's capable of a double-double. They have to figure out, is he going to be a stretch 4? He's going to be a small 5? Is he going to start with Turner? So I just think from a rotation standpoint, they have a lot of work to do. They can continue to build their team through the draft and maybe potentially add a key free agent in the offseason.
Once again, the Indiana Pacers have hired Toronto Raptors assistant coach Nate Bjorkgren as their new head coach. Avery Johnson, thanks for checking in from the Big D in Dallas. So here's the coaching profile. You probably don't know too much about Nate, but he was the assistant for the Raptors the past 2 seasons. And from 2015 to 2017, he was in Phoenix. There you can see his winning percentage in the NBA G League. He also won a G League title with the Iowa Energy as an assistant. Who could forget that year?
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.